What's going on, YouTube? This is Jay, trucker by day. We're making our way through Wyoming, heading on a nice, easy West Chicago ride. We're gonna hit some pretty bad weather here in Wyoming, but this is pretty typical this time of year. If you ever get to these parts of Wyoming this time of year, the real major concern is the temperature. So it's 15 degrees right now. I want to say thanks to any new subscribers I have. I really appreciate it, and I'm hoping I can help you guys any way I can. But as you see here, the roads are pretty mellow. You know, there's a little bit of damage. You know, there's a little bit. They got hammered through here pretty good, but they've been working it. The roads are still pretty dry. They still feel pretty good, but you know, we're gonna make our way through. We need to make for this run to make sense, we need to get to Laramie, Wyoming is usually where I cut off on this stop on the first day of driving. And I hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. I sure did. I ate way too much food, and I'm still recovering from it. But I'm recording this the day after Thanksgiving, and yeah, I'll just let you see some of this stuff. Some of these nice winter roads, but this is like I said, it's pretty typical in Wyoming. It's nothing to get too scared about. Just, you know, do what you know and just cruise along, and that's it. You know, just try to be careful. I still love when I see the guys that fly by me 1,000 miles an hour. You know, it's still, you know, it's still risky just like anything, but this is you know. And then see up here on the on ramp, we're coming up on them. That would be a snow plow. And he is probably going to be going a lot slower than me, so we're probably going to go ahead and scoot around him. And that's also not recommended. Try to stay out of the left lane, so they're going to work. It looks like they've been working this lane more than the other one. So let's see, we're going 60. Oh, see, he's going to get out of my way. Perfect. So they're going to start working the left lane, so we can just cruise on right by him and go ahead and get out of this man's way and let him do his work. So, but you know, sometimes it's pretty startling sometimes, because you know they'll come out of nowhere sometimes, but gotta let them work. So, but yeah, you were right by the title. I figured, you know, I showed you guys some winter driving. I gave you guys some tips here and there, but let's talk about the real thing. A lot of people want to know. You know, I'm sure everybody has their opinion about how much they're willing to risk for their job. But the question is, why do I risk it? Is it really worth it? Is the money I make, you know, I'm an uneducated 40-year-old. I got a GED, which I barely passed when I was 20. You know, no formal education whatsoever. And, you know, like I said, like it says in the title, I make six figures. I make in the mid to high six figures some years. This is going to be a mid-year, so we're going to year out this year around 140. But that's the thing. It's like, that used to be a ton of money. You know, back not very long ago, that used to be I mean, once you started making six figures, like, you should be all right with everything. But it's weird. It's not really that much anymore for the amount of responsibility I have to take on. You know, hell, I met a guy the other day. Walmart they're starting company drivers out at like 90,000, 90 to 92, and I mean, I'm making a little more than that, but there's years where I'm only breaking 120. So that seems like quite a bit more money, but is it really for the responsibility of this rig and, you know, of me, whoever I got riding with me? You know, is it worth all the extra responsibility? You know, that's just going to be your personal choice. But yeah, it's been good to me, man. It's been real good. I'm trying not to blind out the cops a little bit. All right. It's been real good, and like I said, the part that kills me is, you know, you don't really know what you made until you go to do your taxes and you do all that. When I talk to my accountant, you know, he's going to tell me good, bad, or ugly, but, you know, he's going to tell me what I can do different. And if you're going to do this and work for yourself, or even if you're a lease operator on a big company, get you a good accountant, man. Get you a good ass accountant that knows truck driving, not an accountant that does landscape management or something. Get an accountant that specifically does, deals with truckers, because there's so many write-offs and things like that that even people that know how to do their own taxes will overlook. So you need somebody like that in your corner. Mine's always good. I use the same one in Utah. I've been using him for years. He's always done me good. I think, it's weird. Like, let's just say, for instance, on a year where I break 120,000. Well, by the time you get about the cost operations, insurance, fuel, repairs, maintenance, all those things. Once you get through all that, that 120 is about 210, maybe 220. So you're talking about almost $100,000 just to keep yourself going and to make, what I would consider to be a good check. And then, like I said, it's a lot of responsibility. It's, I'm in a 21 right now truck. I'm waiting on my 24 to get in, but, just because this is a 21 with almost 400,000 miles, there's nothing in this world that says, since this is an automatic, that, the training won't go tomorrow. Like, nobody knows that. And even if we have a pretty good warranty with our trucks through Kenworth, but even if you got a good warranty, a warranty doesn't mean anything. If you're going to be down for a month and you can't get a loaner truck to work, that would mean I'd have to put my truck in the shop, and I don't have a spare truck right now, and I would have to either borrow one from the company, and if they didn't have one available that wasn't, in really bad shape, that's meaning I'd have to pay to rent one, and that's a lot of money, or I'd just have to go get a regular job until my truck's done. So, stuff like that. Some people, man, they keep you up at night. Like, you gotta, I know what's at stake doing this. I've been doing it long enough, but I also know that there's a pretty good reward. I make I make more than my folks, and they're educated. My mom is, anyways. My stepdad, he's a pro in his craft, and they can't touch it. They can't touch what I make, and that's luckily enough. It took me. I'm not saying I started day one out of truck driving school making $100,000 a year. No, it took me 10 years of grinding. It took me a lot of years where I made 40,000, 48, 68. Then I dropped down 58. Doing the company jobs till the last few years, 6 years I've been working for myself. But it took quite a lot of grinding. It took a lot, man. Nobody's just going to hand you a high income job, usually, especially something like this where I'm not educated and I'm having to rely 100% on my skill and knowledge and enough to know that I can do this job properly. So, yeah, is it worth it? To me, it's worth it. To you, it might not be worth it. But just like I said, take your time, man. When you're out there gonna sign on to some big contract, and you're gonna be stuck there, and be careful, because nobody can predict what's gonna happen to a truck, and it doesn't matter if it's 1 day old or 20 years old. That's one thing I learned about this. Everybody feels safe. A lot of our drivers on this company, oh, it's a brand new truck, it won't do nothing, blah blah blah, it'll be fine. Well, I tell you what, we had one of our guys. He had a 2023 T680 with the Packard, which is what our company runs. He had that, and literally 20,000 miles. There's injector failure. All the injectors were shot, and he was stranded in his brand new truck. And he ended up giving it back to the company because they told him it'll be 2 to 3 months before it's up and running. So, there ain't no guarantees like that, especially with equipment. But, obviously your odds are better having something newer, just like anything. But there's a lot of old trucks out here with well over 1 million miles that are still just moving right along. But, I wanted to go over the income, because I know a lot of you guys are curious, like, what do we really make? Why do we run so hard? Why do we run all the time? Well, mine is, my overhead isn't quite low enough yet. And maybe by the middle of next year, I'll be right where I want to be. But, you know, I just want to give you guys a peek. I hope you guys enjoyed Wyoming. And I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.